This hairdresser received the most unbelievable heartfelt letter from a widower. These days, the value of workers can often be overlooked. When a widower realized that his late wife's trip to the salon was one of her last happy moments in life, he became overwhelmed with gratitude. He wrote the hairstylist a heartfelt letter, which made all the difference during a time when her career was at stake. Read on to see how the seemingly average event became profound to a loving husband, a considerate hairdresser, and a woman nearing the end of her life. Sarah was living an average life in Illinois. She had recently got married and had a son. Her career as a hairstylist was going well, but she couldn't have known what a difference she would make in the life of one of her clients. Sarah also had no clue that the story would circulate the internet and bring her more praise than she could have possibly imagined that she would receive. It goes to show that one small act of kindness can go a very long way. After graduating from high school, Sarah began cosmetology school in 2012. She studied at the Cosmetology and Spa Institute and worked at Ulta Beauty, a cosmetics store. Like many aspiring stylists, Sarah understood the power of feeling good on both the inside and the outside. She wasn't afraid to embrace her own style and inspired others to do the same. Being a professional hairdresser was the perfect fit, not only due to her talent, but also because of the way she approached her clients. Over the years, Sarah has taken on various looks. She's dyed her hair all sorts of colors, cut it different ways, and has gotten various tattoos and piercings. All of this is to say that she isn't the kind of stylist to judge the desired look of one of her clients. On the contrary, she understands the importance of self-expression. Whatever her client wants to give a try, Sarah will give it her all and support them the whole way through. This is just one example of Sarah's impressive work. Her client arrived with bleached hair that was uneven at the bottom and showed her dark emerging roots. Some stylists wouldn't dare dye their client's hair blue and purple, or maybe attempt it but wouldn't be able to pull it off. Sarah did a fantastic job with the task, leaving her client with beautifully blended, vibrant hair. Dyeing hair isn't the only job a skilled hairstylist has. Though this client didn't opt for wildly colored hair, the before and after is still a noticeable improvement. That's because of a deep conditioning hair treatment that restores dry, breaking hair. The result is a smooth, shiny head of hair that looks completely different than it did when the client first walked through the door. Regardless of the client's needs, Sarah does a stellar job of making sure that they leave fully revitalized. One day in December of 2019, an elderly couple came into the salon. When Sarah discovered that the wife had dementia, she decided that the best thing to do would be to treat her like she would any other client. She told Bored Panda, "I have no experience with dementia whatsoever. I just try to treat everyone that sits in my chair with basic human respect." Sarah had no idea how much of a difference her kindness would make. Once COVID-19 forced many businesses to close down, Sarah became one of the many workers who couldn't work. After months of stay-at-home orders, the company she worked for even went bankrupt. Her salon was on the brink of closing down for good, which brought about a roller coaster of emotions, as Sarah described it. Like so many displaced workers, Sarah found herself scrambling to adapt to a tricky situation that she had no part in creating. Sarah's blow to her career wasn't just tough because it was her passion. It was also stressful because she had her family to take care of, including their adorable little boy. Fortunately, Sarah was able to receive unemployment benefits for the time being. She also had a friend who got her work at another salon until Sarah's opened back up. Still, she admitted to Bored Panda that the experience left her feeling uninspired. After months of pandemic-related worry, Sarah received a letter that was a much-needed reminder of what makes her so great at her job. The elderly man who had come in with his wife the previous December wrote the kind words. Dated June 27, 2020, the letter began, "This is a little bit awkward, but I've waited a really long time to pass this on to you." He goes on to explain when he and his wife came into the salon and how much it meant to them. The letter continues, "My wife was suffering from dementia, and you treated her as if you'd been working with dementia patients all your life." You let us sit next to each other, and when it came time for her cut, you turned her chair toward me so I could watch her expression as you cut her hair. It turned out even better than I thought it would. Sadly, she died in March, and that haircut was one of the last best moments of her life. She felt so pretty. The elderly man ended the note saying that his wife would visit the bathroom multiple times a day just to see her gorgeous hair, and that seeing her so happy was priceless. He could tell that the haircut revitalized her sense of self and her singular beauty. Lastly, he wrote, "I hope you realize the power of your profession. It's so easy to take things like that for granted." He signed it, "A grateful customer," leaving Sarah wishing she could reach out to the thoughtful man. Since Sarah couldn't reach out to the man directly, she decided to post the letter on social media. In the caption, she wrote, "This is why I love what I do. Thank you for this letter." Sarah told Bored Panda that she cried when she received the letter, as it was just what she needed to hear. She also said that she remembered the couple, how adorable they were together, and what a doting husband the man was towards his wife. After Sarah shared the letter on social media, it gathered attention rapidly. People commented on the photo saying how emotional it made them. The letter carried even more weight since it came in the midst of a historically challenging year. Various people wrote how the note made them cry. One commenter further validated Sarah by saying, "You are a special person and I recognize that immediately. This is why we keep coming back to you. Always know that you make a difference every time we sit in your chair." Sarah also shared the letter on Twitter, which garnered even more attention. People began sharing the post, and before long the story was a viral sensation. Commenters noted the beauty of the note and Sarah's kindness. One person wrote, "Wow, that's fantastic recognition for a job well done. Big pat on the back for that stylist." Even more people shared in Sarah's tears, moved by the purely sweet story, something that the public desperately needed. Another thing the letter did was give people a platform to relate their stories related to health conditions. One commenter wrote, "My mom has dementia and has been going to the same hairdresser for 20 years. Her weekly visit is the things she has missed the most during lockdown." They continued, "The salon staff are always so kind to her, and it's one of the few things she recognizes." Another person tweeted that her ill mother felt amazing after getting her hair done and how those simple things matter. One thing that's apparent on Sarah's social media is how much she values her family. In the caption of one family photo, she wrote, "Here's to hoping I can look back on these photos and remember good times, not just the insanity in the world right now." Naturally, her parents are very proud of their kind daughter for making a difference in someone's life. Her mother was one of the many who commented on the heartwarming post. While Sarah's story made many cry, perhaps the person who was most impacted was her mother. She wrote, "This is such a gift that you gave that sweet couple. I'm so grateful for my daughter's sensitive thoughtfulness." Now that Sarah is a mom, we imagine that she felt the weight of making her mother proud even more. Best of all, she set a great example for her son, who can make a positive impact when he's older, too. If making her mom proud wasn't enough, Sarah also made her grandmother over the moon. The woman commented on Sarah's post saying, "Heartwarming, so proud of you. Love you, my dear granddaughter Sarah." You know you've done something great when multiple generations in the family take the time to recognize it. Both her mother and grandmother can feel confident that Sarah is carrying a positive family legacy by impacting the hearts of many. After all of the online attention that Sarah received, her work took notice at their stellar employee. Her leaders provided her with this bouquet, candy, and a card. Sarah also found out that her company is going to help her get Redken certified. Last but far from least, they created a cosmetology scholarship in her name. Sarah couldn't have been more thrilled and filled with gratitude. All the kindness she had put forth returned to her several times over. As with the letter, Sarah's mom was overjoyed at Sarah's fantastic news about her work. What started as a challenging year for her career turned into perhaps the biggest leap forward yet. Sarah wrote, "Words cannot even express the appreciation I have for all the love I have received recently over the letter from my client. I hoped this letter could be a little ray of sunshine in the uncertain world we are in right now, just like it has been for me and it seems like it is.